Welcome to These Nuts Garage, and today we're going to be talking about this 22 F-150. And about a year ago, I was almost in a head-on collision with another vehicle, and the damages of this truck were $25,000. Alrighty, so in today's video, we do have a sponsor. Now that company is Tecoom. Now Tecoom makes a lot of aftermarket accessories for your vehicle. I think they have some car covers, even some tents that will go on the back of this truck, the air mattresses that go in there. They also have seat covers, which is what they have sent me today. Now they sent me a full set for the truck, which is the front 2 seats and the rear seats. And they basically just slip over your existing seat covers. They're not like some of the big name brand companies that will take your seats out and rip off the OEM seat covers and then put new ones on that are leather. Now these are like a leather material, and I'm going to be showing them to you as I kind of install them, and that'll be later in the video. Alrighty, so let me just tell you about the accident that I was in almost a year ago. Now it's kind of hard for me to tell this story, and I hope that it relates to you in a way that's you can understand. So one Sunday afternoon around Halloween last year, it was raining. Me and my wife had been in town, and she was in her truck and I was in mine. And we were headed back to our house that we had rented in Murray, Kentucky. And we was headed back out, and she's in front of me. Well, she's, I don't know, good 1/8 of a mile in front of me. And I see her turn left on the road that we were staying on. And as I'm coming up through there, I noticed on top of a hill, there was a car that had crested the top of this hill and was coming at me. But as I come up to the stops, well, that wasn't a stop sign, to the road that I was going to turn left on, I kind of stopped and looked left because I knew there was a car coming at me. But I looked left to make sure a car wasn't coming from my left. So when this car passed me, I could turn left down our road. Well, about the time that I looked back up to see where the car was, he was directly in front of me. And this all happened within a split second. So I immediately I was already stopped. So I just kind of braced for impact, and I kind of turned my head to the side like this. So that when he hit me, the glass that was going to be coming in was going to not, I was trying to protect my face. It needs all the protection that it can get. I can't get any uglier. But so I'm waiting for that initial slamming into my vehicle, and all I hear is just like this is hail, like if your car was getting pummeled with hail. And I could hear it going all the way down like the side of my truck, and I'm just waiting. I'm like, okay, he's on the side of me now. I'm just waiting for him to just bounce off the side of my truck and hit me. So what had happened is when he hydroplaned, because the tires on his car were like drag slicks. They were just bald. There was no tread at all, bald. And this was a young kid, I'll say kid, young man. He was probably about 18 years old. He was going to maybe 19. He was going to the school, University of Kentucky in Murray. I think that's where he went. And he lost control, and when he did, I guess when he got right in front of me, of course, when you're hydroplaning, you're just skidding. I guess he just kind of turned the wheel to his left. And when he did, he kind of cut down to my passenger side of my truck. Well, being that when he did that, his car went into a ditch. So now his car's like this. My truck's like this. So as he's in the ditch running down the side of my truck, he's just spraying gravel all over my truck. It sounded like hail, like I'm just getting pounded with hail. That's all I can think of. It just a wave of hail that come across me, and went all the way down the side of my truck. And I'm waiting for him to hit me, like I said, and then I hear bam. I'm thinking he's hit me, but the truck never moved, So everything gets quiet for a brief second, and I throw my truck into park, and I get out because I'm like, well, I'm not hit, so let me go back here and see what's happened. And as soon as I got up and started walking to the back of the truck, this this kid, I'm now being attacked by a fly. This kid, he starts to drive away. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because he's missing the back passenger's tire on his car. It's gone. He's just dragging the back end down the street. So I get out and I start yelling at him like, hey, where are you going? You know, you just hit me. Are you okay? I was more worried about if he was okay, because it was kind of getting dusky dark. I hadn't even looked at my truck yet. But he's leaving. I'm like, oh man, if I got damage to my truck, this is a hit and run. You know, this guy can't be running away. But I knew he wasn't going far. So I was fixing to jump back in my truck and follow him while he's driving on 3 wheels down the road. But he stopped. When he stopped, he got out and come back there and asked him, was I all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you all right? Because, you know, you just had a pretty bad wreck. And I'll post some of these pictures up here of his car. So what happened is, if this is the ditch and this is his car, he went down into the ditch and I'm over here. He went down into the ditch, and right here is a culvert, big, huge culvert, things like 3 foot in diameter. His nose, driver's side nose, goes down into the ditch and starts picking back up as he's coming out of the ditch. About middle ways of that passenger door, this side of the car caught the culvert and just started ripping this side of the car off. And it ripped that back tire off of his car and shot it through the culvert out the other side into the ditch on down the street. And of course, this culvert is covered, and you see all these big rocks up here in this picture here, just covered with these big, huge rocks. Those rocks were flying everywhere. Now, initially, I didn't think I had any damage done to my truck because it was getting dark. This truck's real dark blue, and you're talking about fine gravel that's hitting the truck. I mean, it's not like there's dents in it. It's just fine gravel. And I was thinking, well, I can't really see it. And the officer was like, well, do you have any damage? I'm like, I don't really know. Let me look at it tomorrow when the sun comes out and I can go over the truck thoroughly. Now, once the sun came out, it was a whole different story. I could tell on the doors of the truck that there was some paint scratches pretty, into the primer. Those were pretty bad, I guess, right there. And then I went around by the tailgate and I could see where when he hit that culvert, all those rocks exploded. They were coming back and hit the tailgate. So the truck was dirty from where he just put all that stuff all over the truck, so I had to wash it. So basically what they had to do, and I'll move the camera over here with me. All right, so I just grabbed the camera here. So basically, here's what they had to do. Front bumper had to be replaced. Grill had to be replaced. Ford logo had to be replaced. Headlight had to be replaced. Headlight had to be replaced. Fog light. Whole front end had to be replaced because everything had these fine micro scratches in it and chips. So they had to get rid of all that. Windshield had to be replaced because of all those fine nicks and scratches. The rims were okay, which was surprising. I guess they're like aluminum that are painted with chrome. Fender had to be repainted. This logo had to be removed. I do have some, I kept the, you probably won't be able to see them, but like right in here, there's still a bunch of nicks in it from where even this running board was hit. What I did was with the running board, I bought powered running boards. They're in the garage over there. I'm going to be putting those on sometime soon, but when they got done, I said, just put these back on it for now because it's going to take me a minute to put those running boards back on. And that was March. It's August. So I still ain't got around to it. Both these windows had to be replaced. Handles had to be replaced. So as he moved back this way, he's still spraying me with gravel. He was spraying me with gravel as he came at me. I guess he was partially in that ditch. That's how he got all the front end. The roof had to be repainted. This whole side had to be repainted. New tail light had to be put in. back window. As he came by, he's throwing all that gravel up like this. It nicked this whole back window. Now, one cool thing about this window is that it looks like it's a factory powered window. But when I replaced it, I found a link on eBay that this window is actually a manual slide window. So if I ever get a hard top shell for this truck and I want to like put a boot in there to run AC to the back of the cab, I can for our dogs. I can just manually slide that open. Now, when it came around here to the tailgate, had to repaint all the tailgate. I used to have chrome F150 badges here, and they had to replace those, but I went ahead and just got like a matte black on that. The EcoBoost had to be replaced. They said it's just easier to get a new one. Bumper, those chrome parts of the bumper had to be replaced. And I did say that tail light had to be replaced. Now here's where it gets kind of funky. This side of the truck had damage to it. Now the windows were fine, but the top of this, like when you look at the body line, how this part of the truck rolls out, you'll see when I get back here. You see how this kind of rolls out? Nicks all the way down through here, all on this edges. And like this had some. The handles, on the top of the handles had nicks. They went ahead and replaced these. They had to replace them on the passenger side, but they said they went ahead and replaced these with new because when they pop them off, they usually don't. The clips break. So they're like, well, we automatically replace them. Same thing with that. They had to just go ahead and replace it because of the clips would break. And then, like I said, it had nicks down through here. All of this, nicks on it. All on this fender, nicks all down through here. So when all that gravel fell down, it was hitting those higher edges. I think the way it was too, there may have been some on this part right here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you a video of me walking around the body shop, and you're going to see white circles all over the truck. These were just the quick ones that we saw. The nicks and dings and stuff from all those rocks that we just saw. He circled them just for the insurance company. But after he did that and I made that little video, we were still finding them. So it was pretty wild that it did so much damage and he never hit me. Alrighty, now that we're taking a break from that exciting story of how I could have been killed here in this truck, let's take a look at these seat covers, because I'm really excited about these to get them. And like I said, the company's name is Tecoom. Now, it comes with this nice bag, which is kind of neat because if you can take these off and put them back on, I believe, at any time you want, and then you can store them in this here bag. So, like if you're gonna go camping or fishing for the weekend, you don't want your seats, especially like these, even if you got leather, but even like these are velour, you don't want to get them all wet and kind of messed up. Throw these on there. So let's open them up. Let's check them out. All right, so this truck has 2 bucket seats in the front, a 60/40 seat in the rear, but I don't have that little fold down cup holder that you see. It does come with these cool instructions. But here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna toss them Let's just see how easy they are to install. Because if they're easy enough, we don't need instructions, right? We can figure this out. So opening it up, this right here looks like it's a front seat. Pretty nice pattern. I like that. And two, we want to really look. For one thing that I like, I think this is the passenger seat, because you're going to see this right here. This right here is for your airbags. When your airbags go to deploy in your seat, they can expand, they can come out right and not cause you any issues there. So I'm guessing that this is the passenger seat. And you'll see how it slips over the whole entire back of the seat. So when your little kids or my grandkids are back there and they're kicking the back of the seat with their little muddy feet, they're hitting this, not the OEM stuff. Now this basically slips over, and this is kind of a thing. It looks like it goes through the seat. This is a little clip that goes around it, make sure it stays tight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this to the side. This is probably gonna be the driver's side. Yep, that's gonna be the driver's side. And how I'm kind of telling is this right here, this hole. This is gonna be on the outer side of the seat towards the window. Has their name on it, Tecoom. And I actually kind of really like that. That's nice pattern. I mean, and man, for the price of these things, I'm not going to tell you the price that I saw on the Amazon, but I'll be honest with you, you're not going to buy a nice of a set like this at like a retail store that you're going to buy off the shelf. I don't think. Maybe you were like Bass Pro or something, but I think this right here is for your armrest. And I'm really gonna like that, because I'm always putting a towel on that armrest so that way the oils from my arm don't mess up that leather. So I'm gonna really like that. These are gonna be your headrest covers, or I mean, you can wear them like a chef if you want. I mean, with my hair, sometimes I need them. This looks like it's gonna be something to help kind of push the edges down into the trim. So we do have, I guess it's 5 headrests in the truck. So here's 2 more. And then here's this little bitty one. So if you got a little baby at home and y'all want to match, you can wear this, they can wear that. A little bitty noggin. But that's going to be for that middle one. And then we're moving into the back seat. So this is going to be the bottom of it. And it looks like there's a zipper right here. So I guess it's the passenger side. It's the 60/40 or whatever. You can unzip it so that part of the seat can flip up. Ooh, I'm gonna cut the blood circulation off to my head. All right, so this right here looks like it's going to be the upper part. How we can tell is this is where the headrest will go through. You'll actually slide those. We'll slide those out, and then they go in there. That's the back. Now, one good thing that I did do about this truck is if you have an F-150, you'll know that the driver's side seat, you can't fold it down. You can fold the passenger side one down with that little strap that's in the back or on the side or wherever it's at. But this one, I think it's Built Right Industries. You can buy that little thing that goes behind the driver's seat, and this one right here, and it has a strap, and you can pull that up, and then that seat folds down. I think it's like 40, 50, maybe even 60 bucks. But I bought that some time ago, but I do have it installed, so I'll show you all that. And that's from Built Right Industries. So now, as I'm installing this, I know it may be kind of long, and if you're really curious about these and you want to get a set of these, watch it all the way through, because I'm going to try to do this in real time to show you, or I'll just maybe, I'm starting like about let's say 5:40. It's 5:33 right now. By the time I get up or get the camera moved, it'll be about 5:40. So I may just kind of jump back in and show you what I'm doing and how to do it, and show you the features of these seat covers, but and give you a real time what it's going to take to install these into your vehicle. So let's go up here. What I'm going to do, let me put it on time lapse, and I'll take all these headrests out so that way I can get them out of there and out of the way because they'll be easy to pop back in. Alrighty, so I got them headrests popped out of there. Now, like I said, this is basically the back, and it looks like we're just going to take it and slip it over this part. I'm trying to stay out of the way. Basically, just like your t-shirt, it looks like we're just slipping it over. Now we're just going to kind of pull it down in the front, and you can see how this right here is kind of left open. You can probably do it like this. I'm probably in the way. I'm just going to see you have this little flap. Just pull that out and then push it back in there like this. Like that. What that does is that gives it a clean look right there, but it still allows that airbag to deploy if need be. So now we got this little, you done bolt this thing. We got this thing right here. What we're going to do is push that through the bottom of the seat right there. I think this is how that goes. What I'm going to do is get over there and need to pull this like this. You kind of got to pull it, kind of adjust it. This right here looks like it's kind of a little flappy. So let's pull it through really good. You kind of have to get in there and pull down. I'll show you on the other, when I get around to the back, I'll show you what I had to do to get to this. Now it's a little, I'm just trying to pull that out now. These are not like super custom. They're not going to be super tight, but and I have to run this strap. I'm learning as I go. I'm not reading the directions, remember? So I'm going to kind of tuck this in right here too. What that'll do. All right, so up front, we have these little, I don't know if you can see these. We're just gonna go underneath the seat somewhere and pull them tight and hook them. Alrighty. All right, there's the bottom part. All right, so there's the seat cover. It's got still, like I said, this part here is pretty tight. This right here's got a little bit of slack in it. I guess what you could do too, if you wanted to, you could put some sort of, because this doesn't really have a way to attach to the seat, like way OEM seats like that one do. They have where they attach to the foam, but that's still pretty good. And then when you have those little hooks that are here, you have to kind of hook them to something below the seat like that. And then around the back the same way. So I need to kind of move it a little bit, maybe as they stretch and fit, maybe they'll kind of have a better, tighter fit. But I mean, overall, this ain't going nowhere, man. I like it. It's the price of them, can't beat it really. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna jump back here and do this seat, and I'll put that on time lapse. And like I said, I've been at this about 10 minutes. So let's put this on time lapse, and I'll come back and I'll show you how I did it, and I'll get that other seat done and give you the final result. Alrighty, so I got these in here, and it basically has these little snaps right here, and you just loop them around the bottom of the seat, back around. Now on the sides right here, you have two that are on the sides. You kind of run them back to where this strap is going through these two on the edge. What that's going to do is keep that side pulled tight. You can still access your little strap to pull it down, and then here's where that zipper on that other seat comes in handy, because now what you can do is set one side down, one side up. What I'm going to do is go over there, let it down, and then zip it up, and then we'll install these. But I may leave it unzipped because, as you know, I'm fooling with these seats. I may have to raise them up, raise them down. So I just want to demonstrate once you have these seats down, how easy it is just to come in here and zip it up. Just like that. Now they're connected right there. So once again, fitment's pretty good, and being that they're just seat covers, as you sit on them and use them, they'll kind of stretch out and settle in. Now what we got to do is do these upper parts, and then this one. See, I can let this down. If you see this right here, this is the part that I bought from Built Right Industries, and it makes it to where you can let this side down, you know, access your amp or something like that. And then here's that manual sliding window I was telling y'all about in the video. So let's get the tops on, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alrighty, so I got the back seat in. This here has zippers here and here for this middle section right there. I guess because some trucks, they have that, you know, the armrest that fold down and hold your drinks. My truck doesn't have that, but that does kind of make it kind of nice when you're trying to install it. You can, you know, take these three pieces apart to get this big seat together. One other little trick is when you're doing the headrest, push the top of the seat cover, you see, into underneath these, so that way it kind of has a good fit, and that helps hold it right there. And then the headrest will slide down. You gotta hit both of them buttons at the same time, and I ain't got but one hand. So another thing is, if you see all this what they call golden glitter, my wife's dogs have been in here she's had this truck for a couple of weeks, and you can see the hairs everywhere. Well, this right here helps stop that hair from getting all over my seat, especially the back. Like that one, it'll cover all of that. So I have to clean this truck. So yes, I'll have to take these seat covers off and clean it. But that is one extra thing that I noticed, that it helps kind of protect the seats from that hair. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and install finish this seat, and then we'll have them all in the truck. I'd like to thank Tecoom for being a sponsor of today's video. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, because that's the way I like being on my channel, is honest with you about the products I use and things of that nature. Now, we started around $635, $640, $625. So it takes about 45 minutes, maybe to an hour to install these, but you could probably do it quicker because I've been trying to record this video. So that does take a little bit longer when you're trying to do that. But to be honest, for what these seat covers cost, I would have gladly have paid for these seat covers if I'd have known they existed like this. Because if I'm like I am right now, hot and sweaty, and I want to run to town and I got these seat covers on, it's going to protect my seats because I have cloth seats in this truck. That's going to keep them from getting dirty. I can probably take a rag, wipe these down, clean them up, and then I don't mess up my original interior of the truck. Maybe you got leather in your truck and you want to protect that leather. Well, slap a set of these on there and you won't have to worry about dinging up your leather in your truck. I really love this little arm cover, armrest right here. Because I'm always putting a towel there to keep my arm from getting oil all on that leather up here. So that's protecting that too. So if you haven't got a set of these, or if you want to get a set of these, going into the description, there's going to be a link. I'll put a link in the comments, and I'll put a card somewhere up here that you can click a link. You can hit that card and it'll take you right to their Amazon store so you can get a set of these. Now, they have a lot of other stuff on their Amazon page, and I'm going to have to go on there and check that out some more because, like I said, I'm wanting to be able to take this truck camping when we go camping and be able to use it like an overlanding vehicle. And they got quite a few cool things on there that I want to check out. So that's going to be it. Back to the video. Now you'll say, well, how much did it cost? They had to repaint this truck entirely. They disassembled the truck completely. Had to take it all the way down and repaint the whole truck. In the shade, this truck looks black, but it's actually antimatter blue. So that's basically a tri-coat or a pearl blue. And that was, the total for the whole thing was right at $25,000. Plus, being that I had already had a car and I didn't need a rental, they paid me, I think it was $1,200 for non-usage, as they call it. Non-usage. I didn't use my truck. I was out of it. So they paid me $1,200. It should have been about $3,000 because I put this truck was hit or sprayed with gravel in October, and it was Christmas. It was in between Christmas and New Year's before I could drop this truck off. Now, being that it was just sprayed with gravel, you could still drive the truck, but being that the windows were like had all those micro scratches and chips in them, well, if you got to going down the road and the sun was to glare in the window, you couldn't see out of them because there were just so many of those nicks from, on the outside, but you could see them from the inside, and it kind of basically made it to where you couldn't even really use the truck that much. Now, once the truck went into the shop, it was in there for like 2.5 months. I was like, well, I don't really take your time, make sure it's right before I come and pick it up because I don't want to have any issues later. But, I mean, if you take your car payment, your insurance that you're paying, and this thing is in the shop, I mean, what's your car payment nowadays? $700-800. Your insurance is, say, $100 a month. Let's just say you're at $900, and this thing is out November, December, January, February, and I got it back in March. It's almost like 5 months. So if it's going to be a non-usage, they should at least pay me what I'm paying in payment and insurance because I'm having to pay it anyway. But that ain't how it worked. I got like $1,200, and what I did is I did buy the powered running boards. So it took a while to get it back, and I'm glad I got it back. The overall paint job when they redid it was very well. You know, there was a few issues that I seen, and they took care of them. I think a little bit of it was overspray, and they kind of cleaned some of that stuff off, like the mirrors and things like that. No big deal. So I'm thankful to God that that kid did not hit me head on, because if he'd have hit me head on, I'm pretty sure he would have been killed, because he was probably running 55 miles an hour and I'm sitting dead still. Even worse, we both could have been killed. So this is kind of a thing. Please get out and check your tires and make sure your tread on your car is good, because if it's not, you're riding around on bald tires and you get into a light rain situation like that and your car can just go anywhere it wants, just like you been on ice. So please check your tire tread and make sure they're deep enough and your tires are in good shape before the winter time comes around and you start getting all that wet and slick weather. Because not buying a set of $60 tires, I mean, not a set, but maybe, what, $300 set of tires at Walmart could have cost this young man his life, or both of our lives. So please check your tires and make sure they're in good shape. And I thank to Jesus Christ that we're both alive. So that's going to be the end of this video. So if you like it, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. I imagine some of y'all been in some pretty bad wrecks. You know, put your comments of that stuff down below. And have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.